I recently flipped and I scooped up the new drone. This is the flip right here that you are seeing, and this is actually my first on-hands look as I look at this new drone. I'm going to be doing like a quick unboxing and overview of the flip, and yeah, I would like you to do that with me. On top, this is how the box looks like. It does have like a pull tab right here. This time around, it's actually on top. But if I was to turn it this side, you can see we have the DJI Flip logo right here. And here it says the DJI Flip Fly More combo with the DJI RC2 and Bundle Fly More. That's what it's called, this combination here. And here it just says it's ultra light, about 249 grams or less, which is a micro drone. Here it says DJI, and this side it just says DJI Flip. Here it has information about the DJI K refresh, and here it has the RC2 and the Flip together. And on this side it just tells you, more information about the flips and what's in the box. So the box contains the DJI Flip, as you can see, the RC2 screwdrivers, Type-C cable, flight battery. There's actually 3 of them, and spare propellers. There's the parallel charging hub, manuals, and shoulder bag. And here we are back to the flip. Underneath the box, it just tells you the serial number and more information about regulation and so on. But let's quickly do an unboxing. So the pull tab comes off and the plastic is off. Now I can reach in here, I believe, and then raise this up just like this. And you can see here there's a QR code, which is one of the first things you're going to see. It says scan QR code before first use. Scanning this QR code, as you can see, takes you to the DJI website right here, and it will tell you to get the DJI Fly, which is this app that you will need to set it up. And there's a video that's about 5 minutes 30 seconds that's gonna tell you how to set up your DJI Flip. And then there's a beginner guide from beginner to expert, and then you can read the user manual online. And what you want to do here is get the DJI Fly app. For me, I actually have the application, so you can see that link brings you to the App Store and you can download the DJI Fly app. I already have it, so it just opened on my device. The next thing I'm going to do is see what we get in the bag. Actually, this is, I think, is the first time I'm getting a drone that has something in the bag. You can see it has a whole bag, which is actually amazing. So you can see once I remove the bag from the box, there's nothing else left. This is all we have. And now I'm going to go ahead and unbox this bag. It does have like oh, this is how you pull it off, and then I'll put this on the side, of course. Turn it around, unzip it, and then if I open like this, you can see how the DJI Flips comes packaged. Now maybe I'll start with this. The first thing we want to look at right here, this is the DJI RC2, and this is how it looks. I'll put the bag just to the side a little bit, and let's unbox this. Put the bag to the side. So I just put a nasty fingerprint right there, but it looks clean and brand new right there. And these are the antennas. Actually has a little bit of charge. It has about 1 bar full, and the second one is like half full because it was blinking. And you can see here we have this dial that takes you into the different flight modes. So you have scene mode or cinematic, you have normal mode, and then you have sport mode. This is the power button, and then this is the pause flight or return home and land button right there. And then you have these, and the antennas just flip like this. I believe you can spin them just like this if you are in flight and want good connection. And if you want to flip them back just like that, this is how they look. We have dials at the back, of course, to be able to change this. And these are the joysticks that come and tie into the front of the controllers right here. So these just go in like this, and then you screw them in, and then this one also goes on this side. This DJI RC2 controller is very similar to the DJI RC1. The only difference, I think, is this antennas only. in my opinion, from what I can see. And these buttons are black. On the previous RC, they were actually, I think, silver. Because we'll need to set up and do all the different stuff that we need to do, I'm quickly going to plug this on the charger and we'll continue with the unboxing experience. Continuing with what comes in the bag, let's look at this. Now, this is the charging hub, and you can see the battery for the Flip. It actually says Flip, and you can flip it this way, flip, and this flip is upside down. Let's remove one of these batteries out. I think to remove it, you just press and pull. Yeah, so you just press and you can see how this releases this hook right there. There's two of them on each side. And I think this is much better. It has much better grip. And then we put it in just like this. And it looks flush, so it has the capacity to charge for different Flip batteries at the same time, which is good. And it charges with USB-C right here, as you can see. And when you press the power button, it's supposed to show you the status of the batteries. But because this is a brand new product, most of the DJI products that I've unboxed, they always come with empty batteries, and I think that's for safety during transportation. But yeah, let me quickly also put this on the charger. But this is how the battery hub and the two batteries that the Fly More combo comes with. And you can see right there, it says this is the DJI Flip parallel charging hub. Back to the bag right here. I think we have some stuff on the top zip section right there. And it's actually a lot of stuff. So one of the first things we have in this bag, as you can see, you have a screwdriver that is going to allow you to change your propellers, should that be the case, or should you need to do that in the future. We'll put it to the side. We have some silica gel, and then we have a USB-C to USB-C cable with a little QR code in the middle. This is what you're gonna use to charge your devices if you don't already have multiple USB-C cables laying around. And of course, we get 3 sets of propellers. So you can see the top ones say A, and then the bottom ones say B. And the cool thing about these propellers, you can see they are highlighted. So A is the orange color, and if you do in future need to change your propellers, propeller A are these ones that are highlighted. You cannot put propeller A on these ones that are the white. And then propeller B is diagonal, these ones just like this. And when you want to change those in future, then you will need these, and you can see we get 3 of them. The next thing that you get is the paperwork, and let's quickly open it. There is a fair bit of paperwork right in here, so let me quickly unbox this. It's a lot of paperwork. So this is going to be your best friend when you are setting up the Flip. So this is the quick start guide, and it's going to tell you how to set it up and download all the applications that you are going to need. This manual talks of 3 ways that you can control the DJI Flip. So the first way, as you can see, is controlling the DJI Flip using the RC controller, which we have. And then the second method is to control the Flip using your mobile device. So you would have to turn off your controller, and then you can use the DJI Fly app on your application or your mobile device on your either iPhone or Android. You can do that. So you technically don't need this. So if you want to just buy the Flip, it's possible to just use it standalone and activate it using your mobile device. At the same time, the third method to control the Flip is using the palm takeoff. You know, the palm takeoff is the same way we've been controlling the DJI Neo. So if you buy the DJI Neo without any controllers or goggles, you can control this device by itself just using this button and selecting the different modes. So the same is also true with the DJI Flip. I'm actually surprised they released a DJI Flip. I thought they would release like a DJI Neo Pro or DJI Neo 2, since essentially it seems like, at least from what I'm seeing right here, the Flip is trying to accomplish or do what the Neo does, but a little bit better. Inside the paperwork, of course, you get the Flip safety guidelines right there. It's a lot of paperwork right there. And then you get the safety rules right here, and you also get this drone's information notices, and there is the accessory guide for the charging hub right here. And then you get a quick overview of the Flip. this is just going to tell you, you know, the different mechanism of the flip and so on. And it has a, I think this is the DJI RC N3 or something like that. And you get a quick QR code that's going to tell you to download the DJI store. It's a must-have for DJI users. I think this will allow you to get DJI Care Refresh among others, and you can see, you can try out different virtual flights and service repairs through the DJI store app. And the last thing you get is DJI stickers, and there's actually a fair bit of stickers in here. It's not just one. So you can see if I open it and then just stretch it like this, these are the stickers that you get with the DJI Flip, similar to what you get with the DJI Neo when you get the Fly More combo, or the FPV combo rather. A cool thing I just realized is that these items are actually tagged, so you can see the top zipped section that tells you all the accessories. It's tagged, and this is the section that came with all these like propellers, the charging hub, and the screwdriver. It's tagged as the accessory side, and the bag itself is actually tagged right here. So this bag is called this is the DJI Flip shoulder bag, and it comes in black polyester material right there. And now the last thing that comes in the bag that we are going to look at is the DJI Flip itself. So this is how the Flip looks before unboxing it, and I'll just pull this tab just like this. And now this is how the DJI Flip looks. Now this section, look at, this is my palm right there, and you can see it's actually pretty big. You know, if you want to grab it end to end, like my fingers do not reach all the way like to the top when I put it like this. So it does have wide propellers and propeller guards as well. So this is the Flip. To open it, I believe you just flip it like this, just like what it says, flip. And then I'll flip this one too, just like that. It's pretty good actually, you know. And then to flip the back wheels, you just flip them. It's literally just flip, flip, flip. And when it's fully extended, this is how the DJI Flip looks. Now it does have like a LiDAR sensor right here at the front, as you can see, and this is how it looks on the bottom. If you flip it all the way or just one wheel, this is how it looks when you flip it back like this. And if I was to go like this, boom, you can see how this looks. It tightens together, and you can see how it's properly designed and aligned right there. But yeah, the wings actually look quite wide, or the propeller span. Now it does of course come with this camera guard right there, and the camera itself has the ability to go from landscape to portrait. So let me quickly remove this. Oh, and this is one piece, by the way. So it covers the camera right there, and then it covers this LiDAR sensor. I believe it's all one piece, as you can see. And to take it off, I can tell that there's like marks to push in right there and on this side. So I think I just push in right there, and it comes off just like this. Oh, and it has a rubber piece that covers the camera. So this rubber piece was in front of this camera just like this, and it was covering it. And now, unlike the DJI Neo, you can see this camera has the ability to actually go into landscape mode. It's mobile, and it can rotate just like that, which is pretty cool. And it's stabilized, and yeah, it looks pretty good just like this. It's actually pretty easy to put this camera cover on, but yeah, you want to be gentle and not push it all the way. And yeah, in just quick overview, this is how the DJI Flip looks. If I try and remove the battery, there's just two buttons right here, and the buttons have like an orange tag right there. There's a color right there, and you can see one. And the Flip has, you can see the ports that the DJI Flip has. Maybe I'll fold this to make this a little bit simpler for you to see. So you can see the Flip right there. It has a USB-C port that you can use it to charge it, and I believe to transfer data. And then it has this like mode button. If you want to use like palm takeoff, this is, I believe, the button that you use to be able to do that. And it has the button here that you push in. It's more like a quick release thing if you want to remove the battery, but if you click on it like this, it actually sounds like a button. You hear that? And then of course that's all that we have on this side. Looking underneath the Flip, you can see the different sensors that we have. So there's a sensor to I think these are the sensors that tell it how far it is from the ground, and that's just about the only sensor that it has. I don't believe it has any back looking sensors, so if you are reversing, then you have high chances of hitting something. And I think that's all the Flip has to offer. We want to now look at the buttons that the Flip has on this side. So here it has the power button, and you know it's the power button because it's close to the LED indicators. So these indicators would show you how much charge it has, and of course, since this is the new product, it always comes with empty battery. To remove the battery, you just push it in. You can see these hooks right there. When you push them in, they like go inside or recede just like that. And to push it back in or put the battery in, you can see the Flip right there. You just align it and then push it in like that. So that's the Flip right now. I'm very curious to see how it looks compared to the DJI Neo. So if I lay it down, actually it doesn't, cause wow, this is actually interesting. So you can see, it's hard for me to prove, but you can see because of these two legs, the front end of the drone is actually elevated. So it's sitting at an angle like this. So it's like this if I sit it down, which is kind of interesting. It doesn't have any rear legs on these propeller guards right here. So this is actually touching the ground as it sits on the ground, or as it sits on the table like this. But then the front end is like that. So it's just like this when it's on the table, which is interesting. Looking at its wingspan, you can see this is the DJI Neo, the little brother to the Flip. And you can see here, if I put them on top of each other just like this, you can see how wide the Flip is. It's actually crazy. And if I go on top of the Neo just like this, you can see how wide the Flip is compared to the Neo. Its wingspan is crazy wide. I mean, of course, the Neo is a much smaller drone with almost like just 17, I think, or 18 minutes of flying time. But the Flip has more flying time, of course, and it's all thanks to the bigger body and battery that it has. But yeah, this is how it looks. I'm now very curious to see how the Flip looks compared to the DJI Mini 3 Pro. So this is my Mini 3 Pro. If I unfold it just to see how the wingspan looks, you can see like this. And then if we put it on top of the Flip, I think this is more alike if you were to compare the DJI Mini 3 Pro to the DJI Flip. I think this is more of a fair comparison, and it looks like if the Mini 3 had like propeller guards, it would probably be wider than the Flip, because you can see the length of the propeller guards or the Flip right there compared to the Mini 3 Pro. You can see the propellers from center, or the radius right there, is longer on the Mini 3 Pro compared to the Flip. So the Mini 3 Pro has a wider wingspan. But yeah, this is just a quick comparison in the body and how they look. Now, since the DJI Flip didn't come with any battery, what I'm going to do right now is to charge it up, and then we're gonna do a quick setup process. But while I do that, the DJI Flip with just the RC N3 that doesn't have a screen, you need to use the DJI Fly app on your iPhone as a screen. You can see that one comes in at $419. And then if you're just getting the Flip with the DJI RC2, which is charging, that's going to cost you $579. And then if you get the Fly More combo, which comes with the DJI Flip that you can see right there, and the RC2 and the 2 batteries, then and the charging hub. So this doesn't show the charging hub on the picture, so but it does tell you that it includes the RC2, 2 additional batteries, a battery charging hub, and a shoulder bag, and more. I wonder if this one mentions the shoulder bag. So this option doesn't tell you that you get a shoulder bag, and then this one doesn't tell you that you get a shoulder bag. I wonder if the shoulder bag only comes for the Fly More combo. And if I click on it right there, you can see the different options that you get, and this is what the bundle that allows you to save. And if you want to get like a memory card, of course, there's an option right there for Alexa Professional, 256 gigs U3A2, which is actually not too bad. This I don't know if DJI has partnership with Alexa, but I want to show you some of the cards that I got, because I was actually running out of cards. So these are the I'm a big fan of SanDisk, so I got the SanDisk Extreme Pro that you can see right here, 256 gigs, and these cost me about $40 Canadian each, but in US dollars I would say this is also pretty good. And if you want to get each individual one, or you just want to get the DJI Flip, I'm surprised there's no option where you can buy the DJI Flip by itself with no RC N3 there. So let me go down and see. So if you want to get accessories such as the Flip Parallel charging hub, you can get that. If you want to get the mic mini transmitter, the Infinite Black one, you can get. There's the DJI Flip ND filter set right there, and then we have the DJI 65 watt portable charger that you can see right there, and there's the DJI 65 watt car charger. So I don't think there's an option for you to actually buy the Flip by itself, but I think very soon DJI might be offering an option for you to do that. Now, one of the things that you need to do when you are buying your Flip the first time or within 48 hours, you want to look at the DJI Care Refresh. Under services, you can see the DJI Care Refresh for the Flip right there. If you select the 1 year, it's actually not that expensive. It's about $46. And then if you select the 2 year, you can see it's about $79 for the DJI Flip. It's been about I would say 15 minutes from the time I connected my parallel charging hub to the charger. It's connected to like a 60 watt charger, and in case you're curious how much wattage your hub can support, usually to find the max wattage you take the max or the large number of voltage, which in this case is 15 volts, and the max amperage is 4.3 amps. So that will be 4.3 times 15, which gives you about 64 watts, I believe, and 64 point something watts. I believe that's the maximum wattage that this supports if you're going off of the maximum voltage and amperage. But you can see it's already fully charged one of the batteries, and the second one, if I press the power button right here, it's actually slightly past 50%. You can see right there, and it charges in parallel, so it's like filling up a drum. The first drum fills up, and then once the first drum is full, or the first battery, then it overflows into the second, and then once the second is full, it will overflow into the third. It does not charge all three at the same time. It starts with the first, second, third, and it seems like, yeah, this side is the first one. So just an FYI in case you need to know that. And I think right now I have enough charge, so I have the ability to just remove one, and my RCN or RC2 controller right here, I had connected it to my iPhone charger because it's USB-C. You can see right here it's slightly past 50%. So I think now we can initiate the setup process, which should be pretty straightforward. So the first thing, of course, is to put your battery that's fully charged into your DJI Flip. And so it goes in like this, and then you just press it down just like that, and it's in. And then what I want to do is press in on the hood cover right there, and then remove this. Every time I remove it, you can see right there, it also removes the rubber camera protector. And now the next thing that I want to do is to turn on the Flip and turn on the DJI RC2. I read the manual, and I've been using DJI products for some time. So the first, if you want to start with the easiest method or with the slowest mode, if this is your first time, you want to go into scene mode or the C mode right there. And what you want to do is turn on your controller. So to turn it on is pretty easy. You press once, and then you press and hold for about 2 seconds until you hear the beep, or until the lights load up to the end, and you let go. So 1, then press and hold just like that, and then you let go, and boom, the DJI RC2 came on. This one actually has a fan, unlike the RC1. I never heard the fan in my RC1 go on, but yeah, the fan just went on this one. And now we want to turn on the DJI Flip right here. So I'll unfold it like this, beginning with the front propellers and then the rear propellers. For some reason, when I unflipped it, it just turned on. I never pressed this power button, so I don't know, for some reason it just turned on. And you can see here it's actually initiating, and on the front, as you can see, it has some sensors that are I think the red flashing light is indicating that, hey, it's trying to go into like pairing mode, and then it showed like a green indicator to show like the mode it's in. If I press the button here, you see, it's just, it won't do anything because it's in pairing mode. So, oh, the camera is stabilized, as you can see right there. You see, when I try tilt it this way, tilt it that way, tilt it front, tilt it forward. So let's quickly go through the setup process. Should be fairly quick. So the first one, of course, is to select the language of your region. So can I reduce the brightness right here, because it's actually pretty bright? So not yet. So the first thing that this is telling me is to select the language. I'll select English right here, and then I'll agree to the terms and conditions. And now it's asking me to select the country or region. I can actually search also, and then I'll click next. And now the next thing, it's asking me to connect to like a Wi-Fi network. Click next just like this, and now I'll just set my time. The next screen prompts me to select my time zone, so I'll select Pacific time right there, and then click OK, and I'll go next just like this. I'll confirm, and now it's asking me to log into my DJI account. So let me quickly do that. After signing in, you notice now I'm on the activate screen. So login successful, activated device. Your device info will be linked to this account and serve as proof of warranty. So now I'll click where it says activate just like this, and let's get started with a guide to how to use this product. If you want, you can start, or if you want, you can actually skip this guide right here. I'm just tilting my screen so that the brightness doesn't overwhelm my camera like it was before. So now I'll click where it says start, and you can see you can swipe horizontally from edge to edge to return to previous screen just like this. And now if I go next, you can see left dial, right dial. So this one does the camera zoom, and now this left dial does the adjust or tilt the gimbal. So that one tilts the camera down or up, and it's not a button. So if you want to center it, you don't have like a quick shortcut, which is unfortunate, but yeah, it does tilt the camera up and down like this. The next screen right here tells you that this is the record button right here, and this is the shutter button, half press to autofocus, and then full press to take a photo. And then if you press this, it automatically takes a video. This next screen right here tells you about the option buttons that are here with the RC2. So the first one is this button. So you press and hold to enable smart return to home. So if you press and hold this while you're flying, your drone will automatically return home. And then if you want to just brake, then press to pause flight and hover. So if you just press it, then your drone is just gonna stay flying in place where it's at. And now this is the switch flight mode. So you can switch between scene smooth mode, you can switch to sport mode, and in the middle it's normal mode. I will begin with the scene mode because it's the slowest mode. And now if I swipe next, you can see buttons overview. You have customizable button C1 that you can see right there, and then C2. And then these are basically customized C1 and C buttons functioned in DJI Fly app. You can do that on this controller. And now you can see what these lights mean. So if it's a solid red, it means aircraft not connected. Solid green means aircraft connected. Solid yellow, firmware update failed. So those are the indicator light that you see, which is the first light right there. So these 4 lights, the circular ones, just tell you the charge, but then this longer one is the indicator light. So status indicator, if it's blinking blue, it means it's linking with aircraft. If it's blinking yellow, it means low battery warning. blinks cyan like this, control sticks not centered like this, and then if it blinks red, smart controller temperature too high, aircraft battery low. So that's like extreme right there. And then if I go to the next step, you can see the best way: adjust antennas position regularly when controlling aircraft to make sure aircraft is flying within optimal transmission distance. So if your aircraft is above like this, then you can see how you can adjust your antennas. You can easily unfold them like this and adjust them accordingly, as you can see. And if it's flying far away from you, you can see how this basically sends the signal this way. And then if it's just above, then you can see how they just level them just like that. And now if I go to the next screen, that's basically all. So that's the tutorial. And now I can go to where it says go to DJI Flight, just like this, and it's initiating. And you notice now it's loading. I'll give it a few seconds. I think now I can reduce the brightness because we've gone through. It actually has a small video right here. So. Wow, that's pretty good. So device authorization. So here is authorization information. You want to share like these other optional ones such as device location info or device hardware info, you can do that. If you want to participate in the DJI product improvement project, you can also join, or if you don't want, you can say not now. And now it says activate DJI device, and it's gonna activate the product or the aircraft rather. If you had like the FPV goggles and other products or the motion controller 3, you would see all those here and you can activate them all at once. But because we just have the aircraft, which is this drone that you see, then now we have the ability to activate it. So by tapping activate, you agree with DJI aircraft terms of use and authorize DJI. So I'll click here where it says activate. I won't fast forward this. We want to see how long this takes, and you can see here the light didn't blink or do anything, and activation has been successful. And obviously DJI is trying to warn you that with DJI Care Refresh, you have the ability for 2 replacements. So your drone can fly away, not return. You get 2 replacements and you get 2-way shipping. It also covers water damage, fly away coverage. So you can bind activation code and purchase, or if you want, you can skip, which I'll skip right now. And you have to do this within 48 hours. And the next thing that we have right here is DJI Flip version 01.00.110, which is the first firmware update that you'll probably see with the DJI Flip if you are just getting it. Right here it says added support for app recording and voice control, added support for direction track, added 4K 100 FPS for slow motion, and added support for the fold arm to power off feature. So you can just fold the arms to power off, and maybe that's why I unfolded and the drone just turned on rather, and fixed some unknown issues. And there's also an update for the DJI RC2 for version 05.00.03, and it added support for the DJI Flip and fixed some known issues. So if you want, you can update to it, or if you don't want, you can just click the little X right there. And what I advise you to do is to actually just download and update. So let's quickly just download it right now. The time is about 8:08, so we'll give it a few seconds and I'll let you know how long this is going to take. So at about 90%, what happened was the drone finished the update, and because the controller was still updating, the drone ended up going off. And now what happened is the update just finished. You can see it actually says update takes around 2 minutes. So it downloaded all the way to 100, and now it has some sort of Chinese writing with 2 in it. I guess, you know, there's 2 Chinese and English is the same 2. And then update takes around 2 minutes right there. So that's what it says right now. So let's give it a few minutes and see whether it takes 2 minutes. All in all, so far the time that has elapsed is about 10 minutes, because now it's 8:18 p.m. So we started at 8:08, just to give you a rough idea of how long this is going to take. And just looking at the charge that the DJI Flip has, it's still fully charged. As you can see, when I press these lights, it shows it's fully charged. So that's pretty good that way. Let's see how long this takes. So in actual fact, it didn't take 2 minutes. It more or less took about 3.5 to 4 minutes. And now you can hear the RC controller just restarted, and now what it says is initializing resource data, but this screen seems to take or load faster, and it's initializing resource data complete starting DJI Fly. So the DJI Fly app is automatically going to restart or be loaded in, and now you says DJI Flip users feedback. Would like to invite you to answer a few short questions. You can go to the questionnaire right here and answer a few questions about the DJI Flip, or since this is a video and we don't want to waste time, we want to go here and then exit, and then now click OK. And before you fly, it says check out where to fly and learn about drone rules. And then the next thing is going to be watch tutorial and learn how to fly to use the aircraft. And now follow instructions to connect and fly aircraft. And now you can connect to aircraft like this. And if I click OK, it's going to prompt me to connect to the aircraft. So if I click connect to aircraft, it says next we'll show you how to connect to your aircraft and fly for the first time. So I'll click OK, and now here it's prompting me to select the aircraft model. So this one, since we did a software update, we are going to select the DJI Flip. If you haven't done a software update like I showed, and you have the RC N2 like this, you might not be able, or rather if you have the RC2, which this is, you might not be able to see the DJI Flip. But now if we go into here, you can see we have the ability to connect to the DJI Flip. It says remove the camera gimbal, which I've shown you how to remove. You just press and then remove it, and then you remove the protector, and then you slide the battery into the battery compartment and unfold the aircraft rear arms, and aircraft will power on automatically. So it seems like once you unfold the aircraft's rear arms, it will power on automatically. But there is no way to actually unfold the rear arms or the rear propellers without having to unfold the front, which is kind of interesting. So if I unfold one, it actually goes on if I just unfold one of the rear propellers like this. But to be safe, let me unfold both of them just like this, like it says, and you can see the DJI Flip is on. And now it says beginner flight tutorial right here. So you can see as I move it, it has a resemblance on the screen right here. So next we will provide basic operating instructions for the aircraft. The aircraft may not be able to hover indoors due to weak satellite signal. Take off from an open area outdoors, and then I'll click OK like this. So no satellite positioning like it says, because we are indoors. And right there you can see like some of the buttons we talked about. This is zoom, so you can see it zooms in and zooms out, and basically it's activated. If the setup process doesn't work for you, you can always go back and then you can try and reconnect again. And there's a DJI Care refresh available notification that's going to pop up to tell you that, hey, you have 48 hours to activate DJI Care refresh on your DJI Flip, if that's something that you want to get. Now, if you go onto your profile just like this, and then you go to settings, you can actually go to where it says storage, and you will see the current storage, and it will tell you whether current location is internal, and if it's SD card. If you have an SD card, you'll be able to see that. And right here you can see the RC controller also has internal storage of about 21.6 gigs, and we have 5 used, which we haven't actually loaded or did anything yet. And you have the ability to create cache as well. And on the home page right here, you have the ability to view albums. If you have like photos or videos that you've taken, it will tell you which device it's viewing photos from. So right here it's showing the DJI Flip, and you can go to saved photos, you can choose photos and videos, and you can select just like that. And now if I go back to show you how you fly, now you want to do this in an open space, but I've done this before with other DJI products. So you click where it says go fly like this, and you have the ability to change display zoom. So it says standard or larger text, depending on what's more comfortable for you. You might want to change this setting. So I'll click OK for now. And now what you want to do is there's 3 ways that you can take off with your DJI Flip. And right here, it says that you can take off right here. So if you press this section and then you press and hold this until the green indicator loads 360 or around the circle, this is called auto takeoff. The aircraft will automatically take off to an altitude of 1.2 meters. Avoid taking off in confined space or crowd. So that's one of the ways to take off. I'm gonna take the DJI Flip right there, and then I'm gonna put it on the table behind me. And now if I press and hold this and it loads all the way, you notice it's right there. So if I want to land it, I can press and hold this, and then I can say land. And boom, it lands. It's actually crazy that it lands on its propellers at the back. The back propellers have no legs, but that's one way to take off. The other way to take off, or the second way, is to use your arms like this. So if you take your arms, let me just make sure nothing is going into the arms, like I'll just put it there. So if I go to this screen so that you have more, I have more space. And now here, what I want to do is show you, if you take your joysticks and then you push them in the edges just like this, you notice the propellers start. And now to rise up, this is what I use to rise up, and you can see it sort of raises. So this allows you to elevate the drone. If you push this, once you start it up and you push this up, it's gonna take off, and it tilts a bit like this forward, and then it flies. So keep that in mind. And then when you move this side to side, it rotates on its axis just like that. But you have the ability to change the settings, of course. Now also, another thing that you can do to take off, I showed you how you can take off or start your drone like this. So to land your drone, you just take this and then you push it down like this, and it will stop the propellers. So that's one way. And then the third way you can do with your arms is to push them inwards like this, and it takes off. So that's one way to take off right there, which is pretty good. And according to DJI, they actually mentioned that you can take off with the DJI Flip without the need for the RC controller, which is kind of cool. So let's test that out and see. So to turn off your RC controller is pretty simple. You basically turn it off just like you turn it on. You press once and then you press and hold, and once you hear the tone, it goes off just like that. But like DJI mentioned, we have the ability to fly the DJI Flip without any controller or without even using our mobile device. So what you do in this case, according to the manual, the way you take off, the way you take off with the DJI Neo, if you remember, you just put it in your palm like this, you select the mode you want, and then you press and hold, and the Neo takes off. But with the Flip, you actually don't put it on your palm flat. You use your thumb and this finger to grab it. So the manual said you do this. Yeah, it's like this. Yeah, this is what you do according to the manual. So you take it like this and you grab it under this section, and then you choose the mode that you want. And to choose the mode you want, you press this button right here. So by the USB-C port or the SD card slot, there's actually, I haven't put in a micro SD, we'll talk about that soon. So this is the mode button. If you press it once, it tells you the mode you are in. So you have follow, droney, circle, rocket, spotlight, direction track, follow, which was the first one. So those are the modes. And once you found the mode that you want, you press and hold this button for 2 seconds while holding the drone, you know, away from your face. So then
circle, rocket, spotlight, direction track, follow.
So if I now press and hold this button on the side, like I mentioned, for 2 seconds.
Medium, follow, 3, 2, 1.
You can see the drone, it's actually right here. And now to land the drone, you take your palm like this and you put it under the drone. Not too bad. So the drone does rise up a little bit and then it lowers. So that's something slightly different from the Neo. So the takeoff is different, but the landing is still the same. You just take your palm and then you put it under the drone, and just like the Neo, it lands on your palm. So hopefully this gives you a quick overview of what to do. So you can also use your DJI Fly app on your phone to fly the DJI Flip, which you can do using the DJI Fly application. So that's pretty simple. I'll open the DJI Fly application on my iPhone. I'll go to connection guide, and then I'll go to where it says flip. I'll select the DJI Flip, and then connect via mobile or connect via RC only. So I'll select connect via mobile device, and it's telling me to unfold the drone and then make sure you allow DJI to find devices on your network. Now you can see it's found the DJI Flip. If I click on it like this, press and hold power button for 3 seconds to confirm connection. Now it says connecting. DJI Fly wants to join Wi-Fi network. DJI Flip. I'll click where it says join. Now, as you can see, it's connecting. Boom. And now you can see there's some warnings here where it tells you choose a suitable flight environment, a well-lit area, avoid textureless or reflective grounds, fly in open areas, and you want to avoid flying off bridges or balcony, avoid taking off and landing on rocks, sand and grass, and avoid water. So once you've read through this safety guide, then what you can do is click where it says got it like this, and boom, now you can start to fly. If it's unfolded and then I click where it says start,
3, 2, 1. Unable to take off. Aim camera at subject first.
now you can see when I take the camera and make it face me, I have the ability to go here. I can change the different modes, so follow mode, droney mode. Press this button here on the drone, the side button besides the USB-C port. It changes the modes, rocket, circle, and you can see it's also changing as I speak on the phone. And once you're ready, you can either do the manual takeoff like we did with the DJI Neo by pressing and holding for 2 seconds and it will begin to fly. But now what you want to do, if you want to do manual flight, you can go to where it says manual. So you just drop that down and then go to where it says manual. I'll put the drone on the table just like that. And now if I go to where it says takeoff, it's gonna take off. You can see the drone. And now if I want to land it, I can go here and say land. And of course, you know, you get the manual controls once you take off using your phone manually to be able to go up and down, rotate, just like we did with the DJI Neo. So that's basically a quick look at the controls. We saw how you can control the DJI Flip using the RC2 controller. We saw how you can use it using the DJI Fly app on your device, and we saw how you can control it using your palm. So if you want to now begin controlling and doing other stuff and doing like screen recording, you can then go ahead and put your SD card into your drone right there, and whenever you do a screen recording, it's gonna record on the SD card if that's something that you want. Now the DJI Flip does have internal storage, so you can also go ahead and actually put an SD card if you want to record for extended periods of time, and then you can go in and change the setting to record to the SD card, which is pretty good. Now like I mentioned, I wanted to compare this to the DJI Neo since they are like cousins or brothers in a way. So this is how they look side by side, and you can see the wingspan. So this is my palm. You can see the Neo it's not foldable. If the Neo was foldable, it will be a plus, but you know, the Flip is foldable, but it has a larger wingspan than the DJI Neo. So what's the differences between these drones? So the first difference is that this one is basically like being advertised as a palm sized drone for vlogs, while the DJI Flip is being advertised as a vlog camera drone. So it's a vlog all-in-one camera drone. And then the other difference is that this one actually comes in at about 179 for the basic, just the drone itself with the battery. Of course, I just removed it to charge it, but the Neo starts at 179, while the DJI Flip starts at 419 USD if you get the one that just has the RCN3, which is the controller that doesn't have the screen. But a similarity that these two drones have is that they are all entry-level drones, so none of these are themed or under the professional sections. They are all for entry levels. If you're trying to get into drone photography, entering, or just as a hobby, these are what you would go for. Another difference between the DJI Neo and the Flip is that the DJI Neo has the ability to record up to 4K 30 FPS, and it has a half-inch CMOS sensor, while the DJI Flip has a 1/1.3 inch CMOS sensor and has the ability to record up to 4K 60 FPS in HDR, or like you saw with the software update that we did, it allows us to record 4K at 100 FPS for slow motion. So that's another difference. And the DJI Flip has 48 megapixels, while the DJI Neo has 12 megapixels. The weight is also different, of course, as you can see. So the DJI Neo weighs about 135 grams. If you take off the propeller guards, you get slightly less weight and plus 1 minute of flying time. But the DJI Flip weighs less than 249 grams, so they try to get as close to the 249 grams as possible, but they do not exceed that for regulatory purposes. The flying time of the Neo is 17 minutes as compared to the DJI Flip that has a flying time of 31 minutes. Now this one, the DJI Flip, has forward and downwards obstacle sensing, as you can see. So these are the downwards obstacle sensing sensor, and it has the forward and obstacle sensors that are located in this section right here, while the DJI Neo has unidirectional obstacle sensing. So the Flip is much better in this case. And if you are using like the DJI RC controller with the DJI Neo, you have a max video transmission range of 10 kilometers, while on the DJI Flip you have a max video transmission range of 13 kilometers. So not too bad actually. The Neo is doing pretty well in that case. But when it comes to internal storage, since the Flip has the ability to get like an external SD card, you can see the slot right there, which then
will power off in 5 seconds. Press any button on aircraft to cancel.
Okay, we just let it power off. But since this has an SD card, it means the internal storage that it has is not much. In fact, this has 2 gigs of internal storage, while the DJI Neo has 22 gigs. So the DJI Neo has more than 10 times the internal storage of the DJI Flip. But if you're waiting for the DJI Neo 2 or the DJI Neo Pro. I think this is as close as we are going to get for now. Maybe eventually DJI might release an option to or an upgrade to the DJI Neo 2 or Neo Pro, but for now it seems like this is the successor or the big brother to the Neo, and this video is more of an unboxing, first impressions, quick look, setup and guide, and looking at the differences between these two drones and basically comparing prices and other things. Let me know what you think about this video, and if you want to see more videos on the DJI Flip, comment what it is that you want to see. Do you want to see me do like just a video comparison when it comes to the quality or other things? Do comment your thoughts and wishes in the description below, and if I get the time, I'll probably be able to do those and make a video for you. So that's just about it for me when it comes to the DJI Flip and the DJI Neo in a way. If you like this video, hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.